Hey guys, so we're starting a research project about synthetic materials as I've been telling you this week. So I just want to give you a video so you know what to expect and know how to complete the project without any issues. So first thing, on your Google Classroom you should see the link to the Handout 3-11, the research project. This is a list of synthetic materials to choose from. You should have this handout in front of you right now, so make sure that you have Handout 3-11 in front of you, ready to go. You'll be using Handout 3-11 to organize all of your information and complete your project. So first thing is, on your Google Classroom there is a link to this document. So you need to go ahead and pull this up on your computer, and then the big words like this: plastic bags, plastic bottles. These are all different synthetic materials that you can choose to do for your project. So there's plastic bags, plastic bottles, disposable diapers, synthetic fiber and cloth like polyester, nylon, rayon. A lot of clothes are made out of those things. Kevlar, which is pretty cool if you look into it. Artificial sweeteners, synthetic rubber, synthetic fuel, and aspirin. So you need to choose one of those things listed to be the synthetic material that you research and present your information about. So once you have chosen them, then you need to go back to, if you look on, well, I guess when you look underneath each one, so for example, aspirin, there are multiple sites that you can go to get your information. If you choose to get your information from other sites, I'll talk about that in a second. So once you have this handout in front of you and you have looked up the different things, then you need to start gathering, analyzing, and presenting in your information. So remember, the objective for this week is that you can gather, analyze, and present information to describe that synthetic materials come from natural resources and how they impact society. So we've been talking about what that means in terms of impacting society, so don't forget that you do have to include how the synthetic material that you're looking up impacts our society. So this handout will help you do all of these things: gather your information, analyze your information, and present your information. When you're gathering your information, so say for example I decided to do aspirin as my synthetic material. So let's say I'm going to use this website to get some of my information. So I go to the website. Remember, you should be looking to make sure that it's a credible website. So I'm going to look on here and I'm going to kind of check out some of the information that's given. Over here it gives me the author. So on my handout it says my author's name is Simon Cotton, and he's a senior lecturer in chemistry at the University of Birmingham. Up here is my title, so I can use that to put into my handout. So I would just write the title up here, right? Natural medicine is great, comma, but chemicals can make it even better. So that's the title of my article. Now you can, I can share this as a document and you can make a copy and type it in yourself, or you can choose to handwrite it. I have copies available for you. You should have already had the copy given to you. Then the date of the article. So again, if I go back to my article, I look, here's the date right here. Typically your date's going to be here. If it's not at the top, then you need to scroll to the bottom and look for it. So we have June 27th, 2014. So I just put in here June 27th, 2014, and I just fill that in. Publication title. This is the title of the website or the organization. So this is done by the conversation, if you see that at the top, through, it looks like the University of Birmingham. So we're going to call this the conversation. Okay. And then this says the first author and their credentials. First author means if there's more than one author, you put the first author only. If there is only one author, then great, you just put that author. So this guy, again, Simon Cotton. Okay. Credentials are like what makes him an expert. So if you noticed, this article told us that he is a senior lecturer in chemistry. He works at the University of Birmingham. So that tells us that he is not just some guy who is giving his opinion. He's educated, he has done the research, and he has evidence to back up what he's saying. Okay, so he is a senior lecturer at the University of Birmingham. So again, this is what I expect for you to do for your sources. If you choose more than 3 sources, so you have a space for 1, 2, 3 sources. If you choose to do more than 3 sources, you can do it on a separate sheet of paper, but you need to include the title, the date, the publication, the first author, and their credentials. If you happen to watch a video instead of reading an article, so some of the links that are provided on this sheet are actually videos. So if that's the case, then you need to put the video title, the date that the video was posted. You can still put the publication title, so the name of whoever is posting it. And then the author would be the name of the person who made the video, and hopefully it'll give you a little bit about who they are and how they created the video. Okay? So that's how you fill out the first part. I also wanted to make a note that in your objective, it talks about how synthetic materials come from natural resources. We've talked about what the word natural means, but you need to make sure you understand what natural resources are. So a natural resource is anything like water, oil that comes from the ground, plants, animals, our soils, our minerals, and rocks. All of those things are natural resources on our earth. All right, so scrolling down, as you research and get your information, you need to answer these questions. So this is part of gathering your research. Are your sources valid? How can you tell if it's fake news? Then you get to the analyzing part. So after you've read or watched your videos, this is when you need to start filling in your information on your synthetic material. So this first question, what's the synthetic material you're researching? Just simply type it in. I would have put aspirin because that was the one I was looking at. What's the natural resource from which this synthetic material is derived? The word derived means comes from. So what natural resource, or if there's more than one, where is it coming from? What natural resources is used to make it? How does the structure and properties of the synthetic material differ from the natural resource from which it is derived? So how is the synthetic material that has been made, how is it different from the natural resources that it started from or that they used to make it? Then what is the chemical process used to create this synthetic material? So how do they go about making the synthetic material from the natural resources? And then why or what societal need does this synthetic material fill? So what problem does it solve? So remember, when we are creating something synthetically, like we talked about the vitamin C vitamins, we are solving or helping to solve some sort of a problem. So the vitamin C is used to get vitamins to people who need it, which is why we create it in the lab, cheaper and easier. Then you need to, we've talked about how synthetic materials have positive and negative impacts. So what are the effects of making and using this synthetic material on the natural resources and on society? So what are the positive impacts and what are the negative impacts? List as many as you can because that'll help you later. And then down here, you just want to write out your summary. How does the evidence that you gathered in this article or these articles support the following claim? Synthetic materials come from natural resources and impact society. So again, this is part of your objective. So I need to see that you thought this through and that you're using evidence to back up the claim that synthetic materials come from natural resources and that they impact our society. Okay, so once you have gathered and analyzed all of your information and you've put it all in here, Then the last part is that you have to show me that you can present your information. So in order to do that, you need to create a Google Slides presentation and present the information about the material that you just gathered and researched. So you have to include all of these things in your Google Slides. The name of the material, the natural resources that are used to make it, how it's similar or different from the natural resource from which it's made, how it's made, why it's made, the impacts of it, both positive and negative, and your opinion on the synthetic material. So like, should it be made? Should it not be made? Are we wasting money and energy and things like that? Or is it a good thing to be making? You also should include some pictures in your Google slide, and that will make it look a little nicer. When you've completed everything, then you need to share your finished slides with me at my email address, and then create your title, and I'm going to show you really quickly how to make a Google slide presentation. So when you get to this part where it says present information, by this point you should have all of your all of your research done. You should have everything filled out on Handout 3-11 up to this point. So then you need to go to your Google Drive, and when you're in your Google Drive, then if you go all the way to the left where it says New, then you would go to New. Go to New, go to Google Slides, and create a new Google slide. Okay? And this is how you'll present your information. You can change the format of your slides if you're not sure how. Over here all the way on this side of the, all the way over here, they give you some themes that you can use, but you'll just create your slideshow, okay, and just put in all of your information, pictures, all of that stuff. You should title it, so up here it says Untitled Presentation, you should change it to your last name, so I would put Marlo, and then I would put Marlo Aspirin because that was the one I was looking up. Okay? And then you're going to share this with me when it's totally done. And then you're done, and I'll grade it and hopefully get a 3 or 4 because you did everything that you were supposed to and you followed all of my guidelines. If you are confused or you have any questions, please feel free to rewatch this video to get some clarification. Email me, ask me questions, find out what you are missing out on. So, again, Handout 3-11, super important. The links are in the Google Classroom, so make sure you use Google Classroom. And good luck. Let me know if you need any help.